All right. Hey, Magic Nerds. We're doing it again. 2 p.m. Eastern, live from Las Vegas. It's the Tricksupply Magic Party. And thank you all for joining me on this Friday afternoon, or as we refer to it in Las Vegas, Magic Live Eve. In just a couple days, all the best magicians from around the world congressing at the Orleans in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I've seen a few of you this week. Been great to see all the early birds in town visiting the shop and spending some money. Thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing more of you this weekend. No need to harp on that. I'm sure if you're here, we'll see you. And if not, you're just going to feel sad if I keep talking about it. So we'll talk about some other stuff. Let me say hi to the friends that take the time to show up and say hi to me. Jim Pasquinelli. Hold on a second. It's something with your name on it, Jim. Look what we have here. If you want it, it's here, your anagram trick. What's going on, man? Who else is here? Robert Vallon is in the house. Well, you're not home yet? All right. Yeah, I know the warm vibe. It's warm here for sure. It's about 186. What's up, Box? Good to see you. And double hello, Tim. Craig, come on, house. Vinny, coming in today. Well, come on, we're all here. What's up, Pasta? And let's get started with our magic experience. Today, we are flipping the game. Last week, we looked at some value items, some cheaper things. You know, you want to save a few bucks? Watch the last stream from last week. This week, we're going to blow it out a little bit. And most of the items that I'll be looking at will be excess of $100. I'll try and remember, Jim. I'll see you there. First item coming out of this wafer thin bag. This is a wafer thin bag. And what I offer for your consideration is a black hole, a portal to the nether realms. It's the stage size version of quantum aperture. And it's not that at all. This is a Harbin appearing table. And as I got started here, I felt like I might need a side table. So dig this. Bang. Got yourself a nice little side table there. That's a 31-inch spring steel, and I do believe it's actually made from kryptonite, so it'll also defend super attacks from superheroes. I just saw Superman last week, so I'm in the superhero frame of mind. It might not have kryptonite, but it does have nice playing card etchings inscribed into the steel. These are spring hinges, so they pop open automatically. I wouldn't put a child on here, but you could put like 5 pounds of weight on this thing, and maybe I'll be using that. That's the first item for your consideration. Top shelf magic today. Things that cost a few bucks. That one at like what, $130? Yeah. Quiet? Shh. Is the table quiet or am I quiet? Quiet in the classroom. Can you be more vague? So let me tell you, this stream was inspired actually by kindred spirit Jason the Great. He asked me, we have top shelf items in the store. You know, if you come in Tricksupply, poke around the shelves, you'll see a lot of the parlor things hanging around the top of the shelves. I don't know what a lot of stuff is up there because, you know, I'm a close-up sleight of hand nerd. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But Jason asked me if this thing above my head on the top shelf there, he said, was that a sword through doves? By gum, it is a sword through doves, and we'll look at that thing a little bit later. I don't know why I went on that little tangent. I didn't want to grab that thing out and maybe slice off a finger or something like that. So maybe we should redirect the conversation a little bit back to the thing I'm most enthusiastic about in all the land. Oh, baby, if you know, you know. Look what's in the shop. Marlo's magazine is here. Many of us have waited years. I know Scott's waited years. We were talking yesterday on the social medias about this set. What's up, Scott? You coming to live, right? I'll see you here this weekend. That'd be cool. Adonis made it. Better late than never. Box saw the fish. That's also a top shelf item, the jumbo fish production. So the Marlo magazine, boy, this set of books, 6 volumes, originally produced by Ed Marlo, by Ed Marlo himself. I think maybe, you know, instead of having me try to blab about it, maybe we could go over to the Tricksupply website, take a little bit of look at what the fine fellas have to say about these books from Vanishing Ink. They have a little video they put together. So here we are going to the Marlo's magazine, 6 books, hundreds of pages in each volume. Let's see what Andy Gladwin has to say.
If you know anything about card magic, you'll know the name Ed Marlo. He's perhaps the most influential and prolific card magician to have ever lived. But unlike other important card magicians, Marlo didn't travel the world lecturing or performing. Instead, he stayed in Chicago and spent decades mastering the art of card magic to an absolute level of obsession. So much so that other magicians would make pilgrimages to Chicago to see his work and study from him directly. During the peak of his career in the 1970s and 80s, Marlo began to grow frustrated that his publishers were taking too long to get his magic into print. So he started self-publishing what he referred to as a magazine, but in truth, it was far from a magazine. Each one of these magazines spanned over 300 pages and contained dozens of card magic routines and techniques. These were typewritten manuscripts printed on a photocopier in such small quantities that it became difficult to actually get hold of one. In many cases, the only way to get one of these magazines was to travel to Chicago and purchase a copy from the man himself. And even then, sometimes he would make you jump through hoops just to get a copy. The 6 magazines in this series are highly sought after and often are reported to be the very best of Marlo's work. We're happy to announce that these books are available once again in a whole new format from Vanishing Ink. Attempting to discuss the contents of these magazines would be futile. There's over 1,000 individual entries spanning over 2,250 pages. But importantly, none of these are half-baked ideas.
I think we can stop there and let's just reflect on that last statement. Over 1,000 entries. And they're not half-baked ideas. I did have the pleasure of going through a couple of these magazines when I was a young man, no less than Paul Swinford let me borrow 2 of the Marlo magazines back in the 80s, and wow, it's mind-blowing. Some of this material has been leaked out through the years, but they've been very hard to get. They're here now if you want them in the store at Tricksupply. Order them on our website. And Vinny Giordano, we got your set in the shop. So if you want to come pick that thing up, come and see me. It seems about right. If we're talking about card magic, we can talk about some higher end card things. I did grab a couple things off the shelf today along those lines. This is, boy, this is an expensive one. Maybe not too bad at $124.95. This is Carbone's Notion of Motion. And this is any card named will rise from the pack. So doing any card named is always a challenging scenario, but then to make it rise from the pack, doubly so. I'm going to do a version of the trick that's a little less pricey, and today as we go on, I figured it'd be nice if I could offer you some alternatives to these effects that do cost a pretty penny. So here we're going to look at a version of the effect, the rising cards, that retails for less than $30 at $29.95, and that's the Ace of Clubs. That's a pretty good high card. Let me see if I can do it with just one finger if you're from the South. Of course we can do it with one finger. It has nothing to do with the finger. It has everything to do with the deck. Each pack of cards includes 10,000 trained fleas, and they just push it up. Here we'll try to do it. No hands. Rise. And there's the big boy, the Ace of Spades. And let's see if we can go over here. Brink. And do the last one, long distance. Inside the glass. On la table. There's the Ace of Hearts. And that, let me tell you about this thing. This is not just a rising cards. In my humble opinion, this is the best rising cards. We had a gentleman come in the store a couple months ago, said he makes the best rising cards. We said, we'll see about that. Well, I'm here to tell you today, these are the best in the business, and at under $30, you could consider this for a parlor show, a close-up appearance, or if you just want to pretend you can move things with your mind. As I talk about these items, note they're all linked in the description of this video, so you can go down there, poke around, and just click the links. And then if you want to put these in your wheelhouse, they're available from you today. I got a little distracted as I'm typing. I got Eric Stevens in my Facebook. He'll see me today. Great. See you later, Eric. I'll be here. I'll wait for you. We'll open the doors in about 30 minutes. Yeah, well, about 50 minutes. And let me thank the kindred spirits. Hey, if you do see something you like, if you get a sensation, applause is great. You can hit the like button. You can hit the share button. Let the algorithm know we're working hard for your entertainment pleasure. It doesn't, but as I was saying, that is not a over $100 gimmick. That I'm offering value alternatives to some of the pricey things. Some of them, you know, I want everybody to be able to enjoy this. Oh, look who's here. I was hoping you'd show up today, Scott Link. As I was leaving the house today, I want you to know I stopped by the mailbox. My mailbox is not on my house. It's down the way. I got your package. It's unopened. Everyone has my address now. And if you want to send me some swag like Scott did, Scott, I'll open your package this evening or tomorrow morning, and I'll give you the heads up on what's in there. I know you had some questions, but no, it's here. And when it's available, maybe we can have you talk a little bit more about it instead of having just me talk about it. Dr. Ed's on the way too, 7 a.m. All right. See you Sunday, Ed. See you Sunday. We talked about the Marlo magazine. I had another book. I had 2 or 3 books I was going to talk about. I put on the shelf yesterday, but when the magazine showed up today they showed up. I decided they would get the lion's share of the book space, but I wanted to mention, talk about these next. I wanted to mention another killer, the kind of thing you can get at Tricksupply you might not be able to find elsewhere. You know, we carry a lot of out of print stuff, hard to find items. This volume, The Secret Ways of Al Baker, definitely out of print, definitely expensive at over $300. Al Baker, there's a name to conjure with, one of the most devious magicians and kind of the guy that wrote the book back in the early 1900s. He was creating all the methods that we use today. If you don't know about Al Baker, this is your chance to do so for $300. And I've read the book. It's a killer. It's worth it. Of course, it's worth it. Over here next to it is the big headline. This is in the same ballpark. This is a torn and restored newspaper effect that ends with the production of a giant newspaper and then a production of a second person. I feel like I have mentioned this on the episodes before, so I'm not going to dwell on this. But if you're looking for a big style effect that you can do in 1 or 2, this is worth your consideration. And if you don't want to spend $300 on a newspaper trick, let me tell you about the best torn and restored newspaper on a budget. And for that, I'm going to recommend No Tear. This is a Tony Stevens handling of the Gene Anderson torn and restored newspaper. And for $30, this routine, really great for a modern audience as well, because you don't necessarily start with a full newspaper and tear it up. That's a little hackneyed in this older magician's opinion. Better to take the pieces out and just restore them immediately. And you can do this with a map, the newspaper, some smaller items. Consider No Tear if you haven't, if you are interested in tearing and restoring newspaper. My goal today was kind of grab a little piecemeal, like grab a little thing from each section. We got like books, we got like cards, I got some coin items. As I was taking the Al Baker book down, I bumped into these pieces, which are from the accessory section in the shop, and this one is valued at $120. This is Yagel Masica's spider pin, which is a version of an invisible thread reel. These things are like a fishing reel for invisible thread. You can animate objects, you can float them. This little guy clips on and handles well for only $17. But if you want the Primo, you're going to get the Spider Pin X, which is an electronic reel. So it's got electronics in it that allow you to extend and retract the reel. It's all built into an elegant pin. Would you like to see it? I bet you would. Boink. So there's the pin. There's the the stuff, and there's the battery, which may or may not be ready to go yet. I'm not an expert on the Mullica pen, so I'm not going to get too far into $100 invisible thread reel, but I know people love pretty much anything with Mullica's name on it. But I know several workers that use this. And hey, Tommy Pickles, if you're watching, I know you use it. There's a couple items from the accessory section. And as I talk, I'm like, I'm having all the fun here. If you have any high-end items you want me to talk about or anything along these lines that's connected, interrelated that you like, please leave a comment. I'm watching the chat. If you're watching after the live stream, we always encourage comments on the videos. We keep our eyes on those, and this is how we can learn from each other moving forward after the stream has ended. And we are here to make better magic. You can participate in that as well. What's up, Phoenix? Hope you are well today. Oh yeah, Mullica's. Let's not go there. Let's keep it positive. Not that it isn't positive, but I'm not even sure. Let's move on. We did the magazines. What's next? We're doing a couple of cups and ball sets that came in that were really like, we got a lot of cups and balls, and we got a lot more this week with the arrival of the Master Cups and Balls. This is the polished set from TCC. This is a beautiful mirrored polished. What is this metal? Is this steel? I don't know what the metal is, but man, let's see if it says it here. They're silver. That's all we know. And not too overpriced at all at $150. Like all the TCC sets, they do include the balls with the cups. And I would say because of the weight alone, these are comparable to, say, the Legend cups from Murphy's Magic, which always get a high vote for me. These are beautiful. Also beautiful from TCC is this product. This is the Artistic Cups and Balls. I'm not going to open that one, but I am going to open the Chop Cup package, which is the same balls, same cups, not the same balls, because this is a chop cup, but it'll allow you to see kind of the quality that you get with these TCC packages. I don't think this one breaks the $100 mark. I think this one's only $75. But for a good heavy, and if you do work like me where you're in environments where people knock your tables or you're outside and it's windy and maybe you're a street performer, it's important to have props that have some weight to them, because even the wind can blow over a cup if it's not managed properly. So I believe this is a brass cup. It's certainly got a brass look to it. This is the style I prefer these days, with a little more of an aged appearance to it. And this is a chop cup, and it is a heavy chop cup. And what this means is that it has a secret device in it that will allow extra balls to appear or vanish at will. So it's gone, it's back, and this is the Artistic Chop Cup from TCC. It's a beauty. And we do have a lot of chop cups. We have chop cups for $5, chop cups for $30. We might have chop cups for $100, but at $75, this one gets my vote today. It's a good one. And I'll re-mention that we will be at Magic Live. If you want to see any of this stuff that I'm showcasing today, it'll be in our showcases in the dealer's room, along with 1,000 other dealers, 17,000 feet of dealer space. Can you imagine? You won't have to in a couple days. We'll be there. They have made beautiful cups, right? So here we know, we're getting the information. The master set is a brass cup with a silver finish. Okay, there we go. Your dad is a wise man. Although you're doing the chop, right? You're doing the chop. Chrome finish. All right, now we know. It takes a village sometimes to know all the things. All right, what's next on the list? I wanted to do a little bit of electronic magic, so we're going to talk about some of that stuff today. That's, you want to spend some money, go look at the modern electronic things that are available. As I'm saying these words, I realize I left the magic switchboards in the case, but I feel like we got enough to talk about today. We don't need to go dig those out. Let's look at some of the hottest items over the last few years. The re-release of the Inverti line. This is really, Inverti was one of the groundbreakers for applying technology to magic. This is a great product at like $100. You get one dice in here. And this is the, let's see if it, the box plays music when you open it, for God's sake. How fancy is that? You got a product that plays music when you open the product. This is the mental dice. I don't think I'm giving away too much. I think they're pretty open about what this product is. And it lights up too. That's so crazy. So this is the receiver. I'm going to turn this on. You push this thing, takes 2 or 3 seconds, and those things will light up. Well, they're indicating the power of the dice right now, because these dice are indeed very powerful, and we wake them up just by shaking them around a little bit. I brought along a paper cup to get this done. And what will happen now is the receiver will transmit the numbers on the die. So we'll just do it in its simplest form. If I take this dice or die, shake it in the cup, dump it underneath, I now know that there is a 1 uppermost. That's right. There is a 1 uppermost. You can also do it with 2 dice or 3 dice. So here's the red and the blue dice. They go in the cup. I dump them on the table, and instantly I know there's a red 6 and a blue 4. Red 6, blue 4. So there are receivers and transmitters in the dice and in this thing. And here, I'll just let you see it happen in real time. 4-1, red 4, blue 1. And this is the power of the Inverti mental dice. It could also be the Inverti mental die. How much is this set retail for? $295. That, of course, includes a lovely tutorial with tons of ideas from working professionals. And I think that the magic community has indeed embraced these products over the last few years since they're released. If you want a great option to get started on this kind of tech at less than $100, this is the one you're looking for. And if you want to play on the ballpark for about $12, you could consider a diamond gem forcing die and just go that way for a low price of $12. Trying to give you those options. As I was looking at Dice Trick, I've got one more thing that really I would have loved to have had another me to experiment with. Let me say thanks to the kind word and the noobs. What's up, Super Mekareta? Supreme Karate. Super Mika. Supreme Karate. Welcome and thanks for the positive vibe. Yeah, it is fancy. And, it's in the right ballpark, huh? What's up, Charlie? Charlie Martin in the house. Good afternoon. Tiny tech even more so, but sometimes it's not the tech that's expensive. Sometimes it's just fine craftsmanship. I'm going to do one more because I feel I got an extra minute or two, one that I didn't do when we talk about fine craftsmanship. Here we're looking at the most expensive gimmicked card that I have ever purchased. Like, I'm not a wealthy man, but sometimes I buy things that cost $1 or $2. This card was one of those things, and it really does nothing. It does nothing, but it does it well. Here, let me show you. And in fact, maybe if I just grab a little nothing off my shirt, I'm going to put it over here on this corner of the card. So it should look like a little bit of nothing appears. I'm going to put one over here on this corner as well. Someone remind me, have I done this trick on this live stream before? Michael Chatelain's Matrix Revolution. Grab a little bit of nothing, stick it over here. And once you got this, you can do my favorite trick, which is the matrix, making things move from corner to corner. In this case, we're moving the nothing. So it's the holes on the card that appear to vanish and reappear one at a time from place to place. That's 2 and 3. And here goes number 4. You take it over here, you put it over there, and that is all 4 together. If you want to see that again, no problem. I just give it a wave. Look, they all go back where they were just a minute ago. And if you'd like to see it done the fast way, I just snap my fingers. That's all 4 together in the corner, or all 4 back where they were. Man, this thing is just crazy town. We can't do it forever. It disrupts the space-time continuum. So I need to put these bits of nothing back where we got them from. This one was on the left nipple. This one goes over here. And that, at less than $100, $60 is the most expensive Gimmick card I've ever purchased. Maybe you'd want to purchase one of your own. You should see the back of it. It's a thing of pure magic beauty. And once again, did I put this in the description? I'm not sure if I did, but you're going to be looking for the Matrix Revolution by Michael Chatelain. And now you know, Jeff. And hey, good to see you. Yeah, that trick, there's a lot to love about that trick. It's certainly perfect to do for a video audience. If you're doing social media or any of that stuff, it's great. But I would say also for live performance, I've been putting that thing in a Himber wallet. So you have a second examinable card on the other side when you're done with it. It makes it a easy switch and it protects the gimmick. You know, there's a lot going on with that thing. So, yeah. All right, I had a couple coin tricks I just wanted to mention briefly, and this one I found in the back. I was picking out another product. This is Tim Hill's Emergence, and I think this is a product that was released last year, and you might have a hard time finding it these days. A lot of places are out of stock. We do have one here for your consideration, and this gimmick is a device that fits inside a card box, and then it will shoot a coin. So it'll fire a coin a specific distance from the card box into, well, a glass is what it was, I think, intended to do. So remote operation or onboard operation, it works both ways. You click a button and the coin fires into the glass. What can you do with that? I'm going to encourage you to go to Tricksupply and look at the Emergence description and video to find out. I don't want to spend all day on products I only have one of. I would like to talk about this thing, and I kind of want to show the video for this just so we can see how crazy magic tech is. And then I'm going to do one last thing and get out of here. So yes and no, Nick. Here's the thing. Like that gimmick, which you spend $60 on, if you do it and walk around and do it 20 or 30 times a night, the nature of the beast, and that's you're sweating, you get dirt on your hands, it will slowly wear out the gimmick. So you might not want to use that thing, probably not outside, because it will get so yes, but no. Or if you just have a lot of money and you can just buy stuff and do it, please do that at Tricksupply. Thank you. Okay, here we got some unsolicited testimony. Was it 2 years ago that came out? I thought it was last year. I don't know. I caught it out of the corner of my eye and I said, we have that? I want to see that. So I pulled it out and see it. Now you've seen. Yeah, I would think it's a good theater piece, a good parlor piece. And I don't know. If anyone out there does actually do that matrix, let me know what you think about it and where you use the thing. This is fantastic. This showed up on the desk last week. I said, what is this thing for $175? Well, it's a version of the coin into can effect. And let's just kind of look at this here.
I don't want to touch anything but watch. Inside the car.
That's your card?
Could you confirm? Yes. It's exactly your credit card.
That's my card.
It's impossible.
Ma che cazzo?
Oh, impossibile. Ma poi anche con I segni che ho messo.
Picture this. You borrow a coin from a spectator, you have them sign it, then you make the coin vanish and reappear inside a sealed can that has been under the nose for the whole time.
All right.
No suspicious move, no awkward handling.
Oh, non ci credo.
So it's coin in can, but I want you
The
to
second
see, look at
generation
this.
gimmick is insane.
Look at this. They show you kind of what's going on here. on the
Magic
trailer.
engineering. Made with from solid and durable materials, this second generation gimmick is insanely realistic. After dozens of new prototypes and countless hours of testing, even looking directly at the secret, there's no way your spectators will ever suspect a thing. But what makes Cantassin Tubono stand out from the rest? Unlike any other methods on the market, you can safely open the can and pour out the liquid without any worries. But that's just scratching the surface. This version features two different gimmick options, standard and slim, so you can pick from countless drink brands, and most importantly, you have no size limit. While other versions restrict you to only tiny coins, with Fantastic 2.0 you can literally place anything that fits inside, from larger coins to rings to credit card.
How
You
about
also
that?
get a detailed tutorial from the inventor himself, with clear instruction on how to easily build a gimmick and how to perform it in every scenario. If you're looking for a flawless multi-phase routine that blows minds in both close-up and parallel settings, this is it. So don't miss your chance to get your fantastic.
All right, I'm sold. That's Crazy Town. So it's an actual object in a sealed can. It wasn't really sealed. Are you kidding me? This is the Fantastic 2.0. I think the regular size is sold out unavailable currently. This is the slim size that we have. Yeah, I think they just figured it out, man. They used that space age Kryptonian technology to get it all working. So if you really want to know, I guess you got to spend $175. I don't have all the answers. I just have some of the questions. Just in case Jason the Great watches this thing, because I know he wanted to know if this prop over here is a Swords Through Dove. And this is not in my ballpark. Bear with me here. Oh. We pulled it off the top shelf. Give you the standard look at this thing. I think these swords are supposed to crisscross different directions, but this just gives a good look at like how the swords look going through this way. I don't know if this is an estate item or not. It feels like $120 is a little bit cheap for this thing, but it also feels like maybe not everyone is doing dove magic these days. So maybe it's priced appropriately. I don't have doves. I'm relegated to using sponge bananas, but rest assured these could be guinea pigs or livestock, or maybe a small chihuahua would go in this box. You put them in there, close the box. The swords go through them convincingly. One or two items, unharming the object in the inside. And hey, Jason the Great, if you're watching, now you have a nice dim of the Sword Through Dove. What is it? Sword? You can find it. Tricksupply.com. If you know, you know. If you can't find it, leave a comment of this video. I'll get back to you in the emails. You can also contact us, sales@Tricksupply. There's a contact page on the website. Find me there. Jake's looking to get his pet trick. I'll be happy for you to have that, young man. Comedy. Oh my. All right, y'all. Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a lot to do today preparing for the largest magic convention in North America. So it's going to be a wrap up for me. It's been a pleasure spending a little time with you this afternoon. And hey, if you're in Las Vegas, you know, come see us at Magic Live. Come see us Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 6. I'll probably be closed next Wednesday as we'll be at Orleans. So we might not be open next Wednesday, but aside from that, business as usual. Look forward to seeing some of you today. And for now, that's going to be a ciao from Trick Supply. Thanks. Back at you as well, Tim. Always good to see you. Thank you as well. No, it needs to go in the box, Jake. It needs to be inside the box. And Scott, I'll check with you later. Yeah, I'll send my best to fellow FISM winners, Josh and Nick. And see you Magic Live. It's a wrap for now, y'all. And